Welcome. Good night. Welcome to another episode of our Meals Podcast. As you already know, my name is The Voice. And as soon as you guys get in, I was asking you to just like and just subscribe. And if you have any friends, families out there who haven't subscribed as yet, let them subscribe to the content. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and we'll introduce the panel. We have a brand new face tonight. I haven't seen this gentleman in such a long time. But we want to start with him. So his name is Mr. Monster. How are you doing, sir? You're mute, man. You're mute. How you doing, Chief?
Greetings. Good to be here.
Yeah, man. Nice to have you. We have the man from, where him come from? Ochi or St. Mary. One of them places him come from. But a really, really, really good guy. A girl didn't like myself, but will soon come off of the throne. How you doing, boss?
Brother. But there, I'm blessed.
You're blessed. All right, wonderful. And obviously, last but not least, we have another guy who is not a gelding and who is we had a nice conversation backstage, but we have to finish that up later on. But welcome the man called Gio. How you doing, boss?
I'm doing great, man.
All right, the audio work now and everything good?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
You know, hear me?
May I hear you? It was a little bit delayed, but may I hear you now? All right, gentlemen. We'll be joined by a couple of females a little bit later on. Wooden Spoon, Anna will come on, and, Charm says she's on her way home. So if she finishes in time, she'll come on as well. But the show must go on, so we must start, right? So the first thing I want to start with, obviously, is the big thing that has been making the waves on the internet for the past 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. With the Moroccan footballer, Hakimi, played for PSG as well. Apparently, his wife filed for divorce, and he transferred all the assets to his mother. So currently, he's listed as broke, so not the money. And, the wife said she wanted 50%. But as we know, 50% of zero, that will be zero, right? So I wanted us to talk about it and just see if we can dive in a little bit, see if that is something that we should do. How do we feel about that? Especially we have, men who live with their women, married men on the panel. I really want us to just dive into it and get into it and see how we really feel about it. Hi, Wooden Spoon.
Hey.
Doing all right?
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. So I don't know if you heard Wooden Spoon, but I'm sure, you're very all over the internet. So the footballer who, I guess his wife wants a divorce and all this stuff is in his mom's name. So he has nothing to his name. So I guess she can't get 50% of anything that she wanted. Right? So I'm going to start with Wally here. Wally, I want your take on it, and there's some serious take really. Do you think that it was a right move? Is this something that you would do? Is it something that, because I see men all over the internet celebrating this feat? Yeah, yes, somebody cracked the code. Somebody get it done. So what do you think about it as a man?
Well, I can certainly understand why there would be that mass celebration, because typically when you look at divorces, more often than not, it benefits the woman. Well, certainly what is portrayed in the media, social media, etc. I've never come across any sort of settlement where the man is leaving with half. So based on what is usually portrayed, I can understand the mass celebration. Is a touchy one, because one, I can understand for somebody who has a lot of wealth. You hear men saying who are at that level that saying, boy, marriage is actually a bad business decision. And this is against the background of if they separate, then they're going to lose half of what they've worked so hard for. So I can understand that sort of perspective. This is really actually a step above a prenup, because what happens now is that when you have a prenup, you actually have to have that conversation, and the woman might not necessarily be with it. So when you take the move that Hakimi did, eliminate the need to have that uncomfortable conversation. And so as the man, you're protecting your asset. Coming from a place where you and your partner are together before you had anything, then I would kind of look at that sort of move with a side eye. If you're together from nothing and then you reach, then I'd say that as kind of shady. But if you're established and you do that kind of move, I can definitely understand and appreciate why he would or any man would do something like that.
But so let me ask a question. So let me read this comment first. My take is that he's very smart, but why celebrate? Because under it all is a failed relationship that
Yeah,
may have
hello?
failed because he has trust issues. And I was going to ask something like this: for a man, for a man to do something like this, Wally, isn't is it a situation where he's going into the marriage with some form of uncertainty?
Yes, and the thing is, any every marriage is really an act of faith, really and truly, right? um you are going into it hoping that the person you're going into it with, you guys will be able to work through whatever challenge going down the road. You're hoping that the person won't change. You're hoping that the ideology that you had that attracted you to the person that won't change. And so it's really a leap of faith. So I can understand a person saying, all right, I need to have this insurance policy because people are people, and even though we may be on the same page today, we may not be on the same page 5, 10, 15 years down the road.
All right. And what happened to those people who say, oh, especially those Jamaican women, oh, what a mama's boy. That is why she's going to divorce him anyway. Because why would he now marry a wife and his mother have all this money? What a mama's boy. What would your response be to these women?
Well, I'd say he's a rich mama's boy.
So this is my take on it, right? And then I'm going to get Gio and then Wooden Spoon, of course. So my take on it is that possibly, because I don't know, obviously I don't know the football, I don't know his mother, right? But I'm saying possibly there was some apprehension. A lot of times mothers might be like, I don't like that one, for whatever reason. And sometimes the mother spirit just don't take the woman and she just don't like that one. So I think probably it could have been a compromise where it's okay, I don't like this one, but if you're married to her, let me keep all the assets. Let me keep everything over here, just in case anything happens. I
That's
think
not
it could
what happened, Kim.
have. Huh?
That's not what happened. She was controlling his finances from before he became famous.
Oh, there you go. All right, see? So there you go. So she control the finances long time. So nothing should really change. Nothing should really change about it.
And JC Tatum will play for Boston Celtics, do the same thing to also,
Yeah, his mother control it as well. So this is my thing where that is coming. Again, I believe I don't know the percentage, 50%, 40%, 30%, whatever the case may be. But I believe as a man, when you get married to somebody, and even if it doesn't work out, you try and be as fair as possible. Don't say, okay, let me give her a zero. All right, well, she contributed to 20%. So let me give her 20%. Let me give her 30%. I think it's kind of a little bit petty there, I say, for, just end up with zero. And all the men celebrating, and now probably gonna call me simp, waste man, that's why I'm not
They
married.
have
That's
nothing to even share, so I don't even know why half of them celebrate it.
yeah, like when I tell me say, oh, that's why I'm gonna have the woman, that's why I'm lonely. Whatever one of us, Zane, cool, no problem. I feel like say for men out there who's really celebrating this, I think it's more a reflection on them as a man. I think it's more a reflection of them as a man because, is another failed relationship, is another failed marriage, is another divorce, is another statistic, is another thing where young people can't get it together, young people can't figure it out, young people don't have a direction. I think that's the bigger picture. So yeah, all right, she's not gonna get no money and she want 50%, blah blah blah. Cool. But I think the bigger underlying issue is why are we now getting married just to divorce it? I think that's a bigger issue. Gio.
All right. Well, what I'm getting from this is that most persons from the Arabic world, if they married outside of their religion, this is something that normally happens. They like always have a lump sum of the money where they keep within their family and stuff like that. That's what most persons in the Western world are surprised by, but it's something that always take place as regards to Middle East uh, regions. But the next thing where most persons don't understand, most man don't understand, him have the right to do what him do, and him reach a stage in a life where him can do it because I can't understand some of the people them we attack. Them and them partner them they from them now have no money and them reach a stage where them have money now and them are gonna say, oh, more and do what him do. Him have a right to do it. Him and her now come from nowhere. She is mostly a super model or actress or something as regards to that. He's an established footballer. Every female dream in a Europe of a other man who is a footballer. And what him do is not wrong because there was this ex-Arsenal defender that go through a divorce and it leave him with nothing whatsoever. But when males need to understand it, they can't just jump to this because it can be a case where you have a decent woman, you and her try to make life from nothing, and you read something and you go to her and say, oh, this is what I want to do. She go feel away because she was there from nothing. So person need to understand where they might try to get from this or how them see it or how them person. Just that's my 2 cents as regards to the situation.
All right, let me get from a female point of view now. So wooden spoon, you're married to this man, and whatever the situation is, why you want a divorce, you ask for a divorce, right? We can fill in the blanks. This. They ask for a divorce, and then also with that divorce, you ask for 50%, right? When you ask for 50%, you find out say, well, this man is dead broke. Everything is with the mother. First off, how does that make you feel as the wife?
So, all right. So, working with the information you gave me, I'm asking for 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Was I also married for 3 years?
All in the marriage.
3 years.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'm asking for 50.
Yeah.
And I'm a footballer from him at 17.
Yeah.
Well, better yet, you ask for 50%.
Like, what is that sound? Gia, that's you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I drew on that. Yeah. What you say, wooden spoon?
Yeah. I can't wrap my head around that. How much, like asking for 50%. I've been married to him for 3 years. He's been doing this for over 7 years. How old is he again? 25 and she's 30 something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is it a situation where you wouldn't want 50%?
No.
You just walk away like, okay, cut my losses.
Basically, I've been married to this guy for 3 years. I'm an established actress, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have my own. I'm worth for 3 point something million. I think I read that she's worth 3 million euros if I'm remembering correctly. Um, I'm not suffering. I don't have kids with him. what do I want?
They have 2 kids though.
Huh? They have kids?
2 kids.
They have 2 kids. Okay, well, something for the kids, yeah. Something for the kids. It can definitely go through mediation, but I'm not going to get up and be like, I want half,
But
you
I
know,
think, I think
because
wooden
the kids
spoon like,
ultimately will get his stuff because they're his kids.
yeah, but I think that has been the general consensus for divorces. Like women always want something.
Is it?
You really find a woman who just wants to leave cut and dry. They always want something, whether it be for just to rub it in their face or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this is reported net worth about 2 million and would have received 8.5 million if Hakimi owned his assets. Like this moment, this now that pissed me off. Like you're worth 2 million, but now you want to get 8.5 million. That kind of piss me off. Like, like,
Right.
like get 2 million. Take 2 million or 1 million. Not 8.5 million. You kind of a little bit too greedy.
Right. In a case like that, I'm already a wealthy woman or I'm a rich woman, not wealthy, right? I would want something for the kids, definitely. I would want something to be secure because I mean, in her mind, he probably did it because he wanted to keep his, his earnings from her. Because, I mean, obviously she didn't know that his stuff was with his, that was signed into his mom's name. So after she went, and she did what she did and applied for the 50% and she found out that he actually owns none of his stuff, his mom does, then, maybe it's like, of course you'd feel deceived because it's like, okay, um, is it that you don't want? All right, everything is in your mom's name. We have kids together. Is it that you don't want your kids to get it? What if your mom doesn't like my kids? Or what if there was a estranged what if it was there was a bad relationship between the mom and her, right? And those culture, if they don't like your kids, the kids won't get anything. Yeah, that's just how they are. And it's more for security for because you're asking about my opinion, my perspective. If I'm asking for something, it's more for the security of the kids to ensure that the kids get something. But in a case where like that, I don't know the law in that country. But in America, usually when people sue, right, they sue for something higher, and then mediation, they come to an agreed amount. It's not really necessary. It's like they just aim for the sky, and then normally they don't get that. They get something, close to ballpark or near to. So I don't know if it's a case like that where she said I want half, and then maybe they would be like, okay, give her 25, you know, instead of half because of the kids.
So now let me ask a
Yeah,
question. So do you think now this is going to have like a ripple effect where women are going to start checking these footballers, these millionaires, to make sure say they own their assets, they own their money, they own everything before moving further? Or do you think that this will cause any kind of, because this has been a big thing, I think I even saw, when the PSG was playing a match, the commentators were even talking about it and so on and so forth. So do you think that this will have some kind of ripple effect?
Um, well, the internet usually works on algorithm. The guys will see the guy's side and everything. The girls will see the girl's view and everything. So from what I'm seeing is that a lot of women are calling her stupid, because how can you be married to someone and not know that their assets are not in their name, right? I've yet to seen is you have the ones that are cheering with the men and you have the ones that are saying like, is she dumb? How can she not know that after all these years, right? So women it's not really a ripple effect because women find out these things before they get married. A lot of them, especially if they aim for hypergamy, they find out about what the man has first before they go into marriage. So it wouldn't be a case where, it's going to happen, because it already does happen where women do find out first what the man earns, what is in his name, is he generous, etc., etc., etc. Right? So I don't think that would reach women. They wouldn't get married in the first place if they find out that the man, had all his things signed over to his mom.
So before I go to Ryan, right? So Nika is saying, well, he has a trust in place, so the kids are fine financially. May I tell him F off and goodbye? No want nothing from him. He's now dead to me.
I mean, she filed for divorce, so she already tell him F off. She filed for divorce, right?
He did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
So
did. She did.
she already tell him F off. So it's for me to be a celebrity already, an actress, a well-known household actress in their country. I have my money. With this scandal going on, she'll probably get more gigs. I wouldn't sweat it if
All right.
I was her.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole situation?
All right. I realize people since the last couple of days talking stuff that they don't understand and saying how. Okay. First of all, let me talk about people saying how she don't know. It's easy to not know when the man is making that amount of money. The man is making £1 million, £1 million per month. That's his salary, €1 million. It is said that he puts 2% of it in that account, so that's 800,000. So he's living off 200,000. To live off €200,000 a month, that is a whole lot of money. 50,000 Jamaican
We get
people,
that in a way. We're not
people
talking about
they
the
are
average Jamaican woman who just accept gifts. We're talking about women who aim after these type of wealthy men. These women do certain things to vet the men before they go into marriage. Dates and gifts and stuff like that. No, they have to see like written stuff before. I think in breaking up. Or is it me?
€100,000 is still a lot of money to go
It
through.
is. It is, but we're not talking about people who just run into marriage because them spend a lot of money on them. They're talking about people who actually look at deeds, look at contracts, look at these. They look at the
Yeah, and I
things
was going to get
behind the
into that.
scenes
Finish that.
before they get married.
Yeah, I was going to get into that. I was going to also explain how a trust account works because what I am getting from is that the guy seems to have a trust account. I have experience designing trust account with people. I can't get into too much details based on who some of them are. Trust accounts are made to put away money like it's a tax haven kind of situation. So you and it is tax free. You don't pay no tax on it because you might put it in a St. Lucia or Panama, or Cayman or Monaco or one of them places there. And you get high interest, high returns and whatever. So and then the beneficiaries are normally the children and the trustee would be an adult. So in this case, the mother. So what I'm getting from this, maybe the guy designed a trust account, put the mother as trustee for the children if in case anything. That is what I am getting from it, based on the things I've been hearing. And as it is deception, why is it deception? Why? For all I know, the guy right because right now she want divorce and he wants 50% of it, and she found out that this happened. Maybe he was doing something all along. Why she need all of that? I mean, you know that sometimes as I say, people negotiate high, start negotiation high and whatever. But maybe he's onto something, and we have seen over time where ballers after them retire, them get wiped out and all of that. So maybe him smarter than the rest of them. And I think a lot of women just fix that the woman I get to take with the man money.
But remember that man, it wasn't a plan to begin with. It was just something that was established before he became a famous footballer. His mother always controlled his assets. Everything was in his mother's name
Real
from he
Madrid
was 17,
about
18.
he was signed for it about 78. And I think the man you can't really I
I'm not
think
hearing anything Ryan
but
saying.
that was when the account was done. So people talking about deception. I don't think it was deception. Maybe it could have been when the account, maybe it was a trust account or that account was done when he got signed as a minor. And And I don't think the woman is stupid because, as I said, that amount of money is a lot of money. It's not us who are working class people and we have to live paycheck to paycheck and money finish every month and whatever. And that kind of money, you can't really track all of that. And as I said, a lot of rich people do that. A lot of rich people who I know in Jamaica, them have them trust account. And that, okay, and the other thing about it is you normally put it in a company. You normally form like a company. So if somebody comes after you, they can't get that money because
Yeah,
that
what
money.
about the people when they invest, they don't invest in their name?
Huh?
Yeah, I know a lot of people when they invest, they don't invest in their name. Like for example, what happened to Usain Bolt is because they didn't know it was Usain Bolt.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So, Wally, you have something to say?
Oh, so I was going two things. So Ryan, just to backtrack. So Wooden Spoon was making the point that you have the woman is silly because she didn't do her due diligence. Paraphrasing. Ryan, go on.
Mm.
All right, when him come back, go ahead, James.
Oh, okay. You want to ask him something
Yeah.
personally? Okay, cool. So until Ryan come back, I think I want to move the conversation now to a prenup. Where's the level?
Yo, stick up in. What Wooden Spoon need to understand in regards to this as well is that, all right, at 17, he wasn't really earning nothing because basically at 17, you're an academy player. Academy players don't earn until they're actually 18. So it's when it was actually 18, now he start earning the big bucks. So
Mm-hmm.
that was when he actually went ahead and did this. So whatever he earned before that, in regards to his mother, they never get enough of that. When he reach 18
Step
now,
on
they
that
start
simple
to earn.
stuff. 17, 18, it doesn't really matter. The
It
point was
does.
that in the beginning of his career, everything was already signed to his mother. It was not in the fact, it was not after the fact that or before he got married he made the decision. It was just a business move that he made with his mother because of course the mother wanted to help him protect his finances, not solely off women because we all know that a lot of these young men when they get rich what they do they blow their money xyz. So it wasn't a lot of people are celebrating that him do it just so the wife don't get him money. It's not that wasn't the main focus. It was just to help protect his finances overall. It wasn't it's not save my money from this woman type of thing. It was just something that was done in the peak of it, or not peak, in the beginning of his actual career. He did it with his he allowed his mom to control his finances. That is just the point made.
Okay,
Even
point
so
taken because
17,
again,
17, 18, it don't really matter. It's just the fact that when they know that he's making the big bucks, as you say, he allowed his mom to control his finances.
Sure. Ryan, I think Wally have a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. So Wooden Spoon was making the point that she didn't do her due diligence, and you made it an important point where you said that 200 is a lot of money. So based on what she could see, there was no need for her to. I mean, from what you're saying, there was no need for her to dig further as to what his worth is because she's already seeing a lot of money. Um, the other thing though is from your experience, a trust account, is it something that a spouse can know about, or based on how it is set up, she really can't find out about it? How does it work? As it wouldn't spoon not in her head saying
All
yes.
right. In my experience with somebody who I I'm gonna put this now. Did one was I was made aware of his own and how it was designed and whatever. Um, some of the times it is to put away money in case a divorce happen as well.
So a lot of times
That
it
person that
make
person went through a couple divorces.
Mhm.
So I know that some of the times they are created to, in the event that a lawsuit or a divorce comes, that
Desperate.
money is in the name of a company and you can't go after that money because that money is not in the person's name. So they put it under a company, and there's a hierarchy kind of system for it. So you have a trustee, and you have people below the trustee and whatever. So I don't consider deception. It's just this is just what rich people do.
But
Yeah,
the
man.
thing is, this is not a part of his money. This is all of his money. This is basically majority, or
Majority,
yeah,
not
it's
all.
all of
Majority.
majority of his assets, right? Now, this lady is saying she wants 50% of something, right? And now she find out that he is broke, like he has nothing, right? This would conclude that everything that he's ever earned is being stashed away, or well, basically it's not him earn it, it's his mom earn it, right? On how what I was reading. And it, as what you were mentioning, is something that the trust, he's right about that. A trust is something that a lot of people, or a lot of wealthy people, they stash. It's like their private stash.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who are married, when they ask them to disclose their finances and stuff, a lot of rich men, they don't disclose a specific trust. They will disclose maybe one or two if they have multiple, but they can actually hide it because it's not in their name.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in a case like this, if she did her or if she wanted to know about his actual finances and not go off what he's spending, and I guess because she's rich as well, she wasn't really paying much attention to it. Yeah. So, but if she wanted to know like his finances, she could have known, because it's not like a wealthy person to stash some of it. This was, let's call it, majority. Yeah, because now that she's in the courtroom asking for 50, they're telling her that he's broke, he has nothing.
Hey, here is Carlene saying, Kems, was the information about the mother controlling his assets public knowledge or just becoming public? I would
But
say it's just becoming public because I
To
didn't.
us. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if we didn't want to find it out, if there was a reason to find it out, would have probably Google and probably would have said something like that. But I think everyone really and truly just found out. I mean, I knew about, as G alluded to, I knew about Jason Tatum thing because he came and he spoke about it. That he was going to buy some player a car and then they have to go through mother and all them kind of stuff. So I guess a woman who will get married to Jason Tatum would already know, say, the mother control the assets and then she make her decision from there. So, if she go in that relationship, then this is gonna be the situation happen. But I guess, Akimi is not someone who, the most I hear him talk was during the World Cup when he was excited to play against his teammates and all them kind of stuff. So it's not somebody who really in the public eye like that, where we're really zone in upon him and be like, okay, this, that, this, that. So it just become public knowledge and then, you know, film side, fear side, and the truth just somewhere in the middle. So,
Yeah,
that's
another thing people need to understand is not they are a lot of people comparing it to their reality. It's not a regular savings account. It's not a account where you can say, hey, go in at the bank and say, hey, I go to the ATM and draw 100,000. I go in at the bank and say, hey, give me
wire,
200,000. It's not such operate because a lot of people, a lot of comments I've been reading, me just read and laugh and shake my head because
no make no
they
sense.
really not grasp it. Them looking at it from their what they understand.
But question again, Ryan, and wooden spoon. So if she wanted to know, right? um if he doesn't want to be forthcoming with the information about the trust, then what other avenue is there for her to know about the trust and know the amount of money that is in the trust, or based on how it's set up is not something she'd be able to find out?
Isn't the trust an assumption? I think that's an
Yeah, it's
assumption.
an assumption
No, we
because
don't
you
know
don't
if
have to know
uh,
that a person have a trust account either.
it's just an assumption that he has a.
Yeah, and how we know said they don't have joint accounts together as well.
Mm-hmm.
That deals with the day-to-day running of things and all of that. As I said, they have 200,000 extra to play a month to play around with,
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot of money. So
No, so why I'd ask the question, because I was kind of just going back to the initial point that Wooden Spoon made about doing the due diligence. So I was just wondering what sort of avenues there would be for her to ascertain that information.
I think it's because you're focusing on the fact that everything that he has is put in a trust, which is I don't think that's true. It's just an assumption. It's just that everything that he's earned, every asset that he's bought, is it's in his mother's name. So it's like basically, my mom control everything. If I want a house, she has to be present. She has to sign and all of that, right? So maybe it's a you don't ask, maybe it's a don't ask don't tell situation. She never asked. He treated her nicely, so him just never mention it until now everything got sour. She's like, well, him give me everything I want. Now I'm bidding for 50% of everything, and then she find out the real truth that look, when they didn't want the
The,
car, but they tell mommy, and mommy said, all right, yeah, you can give her the car.
the great Socrates is here with us. How you doing, boss?
Rest in peace and blessings, you know.
So last secret thing on this, right? Could it be where, because all right, so when couples about to get a divorce, right? I don't think they just get up today and divorce tomorrow or ask to divorce tomorrow. I think it's like a duration, it's a so
Mhm.
could it be a situation where probably there was a lot of money out there lingering and so still, and him start here some little divorce talks going on, and then him start move the money. I mean, obviously him having trust and all of that we're you know saying that might happen. But can it be also a situation where, all right then, boy, this not look like it gonna work out, I will start move a little 100,000 years, so a little 50,000 years, so and just start move everything in preparation for the divorce. Is that
That,
is that a thing? Is that a possibility?
that's a
They've been
distinct
separated
possibility
for
because
a
remember,
long.
the footballers get a feedback.
I was just saying they were separated for a while because when the rumor about him raping a girl, she came out and said that they've been separated, before that happened.
Oh,
Okay, and remember that footballers get different source of income. They get their regular pay, they get image rights, they get
Sponsorship and all of that.
funds, yeah, and all of them kind of stuff there. It might be a Puma athlete or something like that.
okay.
And some of them are also models and this and that. So they have different ways that they earn from, and quite, and they also have different ways for they save. So I mean, it's possible, but I don't think it was just something that just happened recently. I think this was a thing that was done from a long time ago.
All right. So the next thing that we're going to touch on is, prenup, post-nups, all that kind of thing, right? And let me just jump on it first. And I've said this. I think I've said this before in passing of conversation. But anybody who I am going to get married to, a prenup is a must. There's no questions asked about it. There is no discussion. There's nothing. What I've earned, what I've had before you come into my life is my business, right? So we're going to sign on that dotted line. Should you not want to sign, then nothing not going, no marriage not going. And I think it was Stephen Jackson who he wanted to sign a prenup, and up to the day of the wedding, the wife
He
never
never
wanted
signed it and him just call it off.
call off the wedding. Everybody in a church, people are playing piano. That would be me, right? Prenup must be signed. As men, I believe we work hard, and the little thing what we have, I think we want to protect that. Before post-nup, no. For me, I'm also big on that as well, right? And I'm not only big on that for me, but I'm big on that for the woman as well. So I think it have to be fair, right? Again, I don't think I'm a selfish guy. So in the event that she contributes to something, and even if we have a post-up agreement, but still I gotta make sure say if we are splitting, she will be okay. But again, I've always said why we have health insurance, why we have life insurance, why we have car insurance, just in case anything happens. So if we want a prenup, if we want a postnup, it's not that I'm preparing for us to divorce. I just want to have it just in case someone can protect me and I can protect you. So that's my outlook on prenup, postnup. Ryan.
So hold on, just before Ryan, Kent,
Yeah.
I want to get your perspective. So I have seen arguments from ladies where they say, okay, I am entitled to 50% because I have given up my career and I have created a stable home environment, and that stable home environment has allowed you to shine and thrive and make all these millions of dollars. From your perspective, what amount would be reasonable for you if a woman decides that okay, she's going to be a stay-at-home mom and not work and take care of the children? What figure, what percentage would be reasonable to you?
All right, so it's kind of different for me
Depends
now.
on the
And
well done.
I'm going to answer your question. But you see, for me, first of all, I want a helper, right? And the reason why I want a helper, maid, whatever you want to call them, the reason why I want one is because I've grown up with one all my entire life, right? So from my born up until I migrated, I've had a helper, you know. Wash, cook, clean, all I do, I wake up, bathe, sleep, play, all them something. Helper do everything else, right? So again, that's what I'm used to. Again, that
And
is
it also
something.
help your mother to relax down, Kamara. Your mother
Huh?
can tend to her husband better and all them something there.
Exactly. So now, Wally, that is something I'm going to put forth in my marriage, that a helper must be in place. So what that does now, it eliminates you from doing all the other stuff then where you want to say you make it a home, blah 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 blah. You still can do other little things, but I think I want the helper to do all of that. What happened with a lot of these young women, Wally, is that they're very jealous. Oh, they want to tell you what kind of helper you forget. Oh, I don't want a young helper in my house. Oh, I don't want no, what do you say? Oh, I don't want nobody to cook for my man. Some very silly stuff, right?
Is it silly,
No,
Kamara? Is it
huh?
silly? Is it silly?
I
If
think
she
it,
don't want somebody to cook for you, right? I mean, everything else she can do, but if she want, if that is her way to express herself, you're gonna rob her of that. So she
of
no
course.
want cook for you. You eat her cooking before and you love her cooking now, but just now because you're not married, well, you don't want to help her. But you
Yeah,
did love her cooking before.
yeah, wooden spoon. That, but that is extremely silly because I'm gonna eat a restaurant. I'm gonna do the like.
No,
I
home
think it
cooked
becomes
food.
well, I know,
Home
but I
cooked
think it
food.
becomes really silly when a woman. Oh, I don't want her to cook for like foolishness. Like it don't matter if you cook for me. It don't make me love you any more than if the helper cook, and it don't make me love you any less. But just believe, say the helper in place. It eliminates her from doing a bunch of other stuff when she can tend to her husband. Me. Now, Wally, so now to answer your question, with the helper in place, should we now decide, say, okay, this thing is not working out, what's going to happen? Uh, I don't know. I don't think 50% though. Probably 30%, 20% probably.
Still hold it down.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
depends. So it depends how much more work. Say more work 10 million US. Then 10%, 15%, I think she'll still be okay. But again, there are certain things I'm not gonna tell a woman first. So I'm not gonna tell a woman, say, hey, give up your career for me, or give up your career for stay with this. Like, no. May I be the person who want to propel you, further. More you go do your master's degree, go do your PhD, further your career. You know,
Not pay for
expand
it
your
though.
horizon. Nobody comes stay. I'm not pay feet though. Absolutely. You're right. But I pay feet at all. But this is what I want, right? The women talk about these women nowadays. They talk about soft life, but they're very selective with the soft life what they want. They want you give them a bag of money, but when I say put the helper in place, them don't want the helper. But prenup for me. So anybody on this podcast who is thinking about Kems, listen, prenup for me, postnup for me, helper for me. That is
Yeah,
just
my time. My time now?
Yeah, man, go
sure.
to red.
Yeah, well, I never have helper all of my life like him. Helper stop coming my yard from me about 12 or 13 or something like that. So, me never have it like that. But I agree with Kems though. I, in terms of the prenup and in terms of having somebody at the house to do the basic work, I am 100% prenup because I see it as an insurance policy. It is not for say me I go in the relationship um to divorce. You see, when it comes to religion and love, logic go out the window for people and I realize that. But
Mhm.
when a person buy a car, them now say them get the insurance and them car because them I think about crash. When a person get life insurance, them not tell us then get the life insurance because I'm think about pay got dead the next year or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. It's all logical when it's about those things. But when it's about love and religion, all logic's out the window for people realize. So yeah, I am 100% prenup because love comes and love go. And I don't know when the love going go. So may I prepare myself in case of it's an in case of situation.
Absolutely.
Because if she cut, me need to know some still govern. I have seen too many men. I work in a finance few much years and I see how much man account get clean out, how much man say boy, them have to start over from scratch, and all of this and all of that. I will learn from their experience. I don't want to experience their experience. So that is, I am 100% prenup. And I am a very reasonable person. So when things were split, it's split as reasonable as possible and as quickly as possible because I don't love drama. I just want to get things over with and done. And each will go about our business or separate ways and whatever.
So
I
let's say,
am,
let's
yeah,
say, Ryan, you say she deserves to get 30%. Let's say the 30% for she is 8 million. But we know how these women are very greedy nowadays. So the 8 million is not satisfactory for her. She wants 11 million. Do you know just say, all right, an extra 3 million, we can make that back very easily. Not even about to fight it
it
out.
depends. It depends on the value. Depends
Of course,
on,
if you know that you can easily make it back out. I mean,
yeah,
do that.
depends on
I
what my
did the
value.
same thing.
And I mean, it also depends on the drama where it will come with to go fight it and all of that. You might go spend one extra 3 million to try save that 3 million there. It
Mm.
depends. It's a give and take kind of situation. You have to look at all costs. So I go look at the cost to this. And if it will cost me too much drama and that cost me extra money or whatever it might be. So it depends.
So what about so Ryan, what about the men out there who because you have men out there right now who just give the woman everything and just start over. Just be like, you know what? We can't bother with all of this. Here you go. I will just start over scratch.
Sometimes them head just chip. They
Good
just
for
don't want to deal
them.
with you.
I am not doing that. I know a lot of men who do that. When I say no, I mean who have met throughout life based on work and whatever other reason, whatever. And a lot of men are not fiscally responsible and they don't understand finance.
Mm-hmm.
So me with a background and a knowledge of it, I know how to go around certain situations and I make sure I protect myself.
Absolutely. And
Like,
here's Mika saying, I support any man who wants to protect themselves financially. These new type of females are always ready for the next shiny new
And I
thing.
just the new one them and the whole of them.
Yeah. New, old, bend up. As long as them see a man over there, so with probably a little bit more
Yo,
money.
if you no bash the woman them so brother, who not go marry then marriage time come. Brother, and
always
the
ask
woman still
them.
like how society make
Always
them
ask
make it
them.
seem, you know, brother.
And who
Jesus
made the
Christ,
women?
man.
Them never just appear out of nowhere, you know. Everything is learned.
Brother, if
Uh,
a woman a act, you know, at some point in time the camera go turn off, you know, you are gonna know if she have for you, you know, brother.
you say
Yeah,
what? You say what going, Jim?
Yo, brother,
if a woman is
what
acting,
God?
at some point the camera go turn off. You're gonna know if she's with for you or not for you.
No, Gio, but again, some of these women are great pretenders. Some of the man them too, but when they date man, some can't talk about man, right? But
Brother, no,
some
no,
of the women are great.
take out the gender thing out that, brother, boy, you can't talk for man, brother. Cause
You
you know
can't talk
date
to
man.
man for real.
Me
You
not
know,
Come
date
on,
man,
dog. Be
brother.
realistic as though life is, brother.
Brother, me not
We
date
know
man.
you not date man, brother, but you must have a one friend. We have a good woman and him shake up, brother. So nobody tell me nay. You must have a one friend. You have a good
remember, you know,
woman.
that friend good little line and say, yo, you know, so the woman do me this and do me that, and you know, you are him friend, you know, so you could defend him and say, boy, woman are wicked, you know.
No, me not go defend you all the time, no, brother. Me not go do that.
Gio,
Me not go do that,
Gio,
brother.
So you
First
know,
of
the
all,
good woman, and
certain
him there with
certain
her, not.
certain certain things me kind of run from, brother. Certain things me kind of run from, like really kind of run from. Because you have some man, them know to heaven and to earth. You use can't get this female, she's going to be a fool. You have to continuously a gear can, a gear can, a gear can. So when can't done, brother, problem I go dead. Some of the man them a put them diamond where them can't reach it. Certain female is not for you, brother. Just leave her alone. And
But
nobody try use nobody daughter until you reach a stage in a life where you're there so with a B girl, and when you reach A stage, you want to left the B girl go there with A girl. No fam.
All right, Gio for president.
Gio,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right, no,
yeah, beat them bad boy. Yeah, beat them.
well,
Brother, me
let me
tell
hear
my friend
from
them dog, me hear it, fam.
Good
let
women,
me
Gio.
hold on the Gio. Let me hear from the great Socrates.
And Gio is not a simp.
Yeah, Socrates called me a simp the other night. So, Mr. Socrates, show us that you are not a simp. Let us talk to us about the prenup, Socrates.
Well, first of all, Islam as a religion is a solution for all of these problems. In an Islamic marriage, when you marry a woman, whatever you have is yours. Whatever she has is hers. When the relationship is going on, whatever you guys build together is both of yours. So there's no need. Prenup is just a Western word. Prenup is a natural way of how life should be. People come to the table with what they have, they leave the table with what they have. During the
Um,
relationship, whatever they create together, they split those things. But we have to understand that we're living in a Western society where all of this that we're talking about now is quite subjective and literally makes not much sense because most of the times it is going to come down to what the judge feel should be the amount or what should be given to whoever. And the truth is, it is going to come down to again what happened in the relationship, and it depends on the type of judge. We know women are emotional creatures, so if you have a female judge, and say for argument's sake, the lady said the man cheat and she have a little feeling say that go on because she can show some little thing in a court, then you don't know. Your ghost cook right there. So you know if you don't have to worry. If it's a male judge, it might be a little more balanced because men deal with logic, women deal with emotion.
Yes,
So
sir.
logically, a man go say, all right, me see some text message, but that never say the man go check the girl at the hotel. So here we go on. This is what we there now, and him try to work it as best as possible.
Yeah.
For me, so
So,
I don't really think about the prenup or postnup thing. I just believe as a Muslim, it is only right that because here's the reality, my brother. Here's the reality. Men have to earn everything that they have. Every single thing. For a man to be with a woman, I hear the virgin just talk about, some man hang them out them can't reach it, and if him keep feeding corn one day and the corn run out, probably over there. The truth is that is the reality of most men. Because when you see a woman that you desire, you are going to do what you believe is necessary to get the attention and ultimately get into a relationship with her. No,
absolutely.
men aren't wired to know exactly what women want. So mostly a man would know generally, or that women them like men for the three P's that I talk about. They want to be a provider, a protector, and a producer. And so pretty much what happens then a man say, all right, let me try the money card first. Let me see if I can swoon her with things. Now, woman naturally is going to respond to things because as I said, women they want these three things in a man. They want a provider, they want a protector, and they want a producer. So, in a woman's mind, if this man is able to provide to a level where she's convinced that he's able to provide, plus to the other things, obviously, and keep himself in shape and all of those things, and she kind of picture herself having some children with him, she's not going to go anywhere. Because women are raised like princesses. They always believe that they will deal with a man until they find the best man for them. A
Mm.
man, a man will deal with a woman because he genuinely feel like that girl, yeah, him and her can question him.
This man preaching today, man. I
rubbish.
mean,
That is it.
Socrates, talk this thing, man. Talk the talk, man. Gio, hope you're listening, Gio. Come and talk about can this can
You know where the man say
like
before him
anyone
start talk.
can't feel.
You
Rubbish.
hear where the man say before him start talk. He's talking from theme religion point of view. Me never got one man
No,
yet, so that's his point
hold
of
on.
view.
Let me have some input because I have several Muslim students. They're from Egypt, right? In regards to alimony, they do get alimony, not as much as Americans, but they do get alimony. And in their religion, they also believe that the men should provide, right? So what these American women or a lot of these women are chasing, they naturally get them with this religion, right? Because the men, they work tooth and nail, like from childhood they are trained to become providers, right? I have a little, he's what, Hassan is 12 years old, and this man's preaching to me like he's a, he's an adult when he's saying that, oh, his friends wants to go and play, but he has to grow to be a man, he has to learn his English, he has to, do everything so when he gets older he can get, he was telling me about this girl that likes him at school, and he can't focus on her right now because he has to be a man in order to provide, and etc. This boy is 12, right? Also, I was teaching a divorcee. Yeah, divorcee. She does get alimony, or what they call a dowry, right? I think they pay them up to, I don't want to really speak on the details, but they do get alimony, right? They do get money if they get divorced, especially if they have kids,
Mm.
right? So they do have, um, you know, what they call. They do have maintenance fee that they pay if they divorce a woman, right? But it really happens because most of these women, they're comfortable with their life. These men,
Mhm.
they go out and they do what they're supposed to do, as they, in their religion, men have duties, women have duties, right? And they both perform their duties. So most of the time, everything is good, right? I did question the woman now about how she would feel if the man wants to bring a second wife. She said no Muslim woman likes it. However, if the man agrees to do it, they have to, they just try the best to suck it up and welcome her, with open arms, etc., etc. But a lot of them that I know do practice monogamy, right? And yeah, but just to answer Socrates, sorry, when it comes to the whole, he doesn't, the post and pre and whatever, they know that if they divorce a woman, they pay her dowry, for what she has contributed in her marriage. They already know that. They're not fighting it. They're not saying, no woman I get not one work hard for. They know that is their duty. That is what, if it happens that they get a divorce, that is what just happens. So it's not the fact that they don't do it, they just accept it. That's what will happen. But, divorce rate isn't really high. It's not in the numbers as it is in the western side of the world.
And to
So,
add to that quickly, Islam really dictates that when you have children with women, you are you have to take care of them.
Take
As a
care of
matter
it.
of fact,
Yeah.
the men are supposed to take the children. But because women are kind of westernized, them still don't want to say boy, they want to keep the children. But really the men, and the reason for that is obviously to free up a woman so she can go get married to somebody else and she don't have that burden with these children for a man to say, boy, I can't take up a woman with three picnic, or whatever.
But
So
they
the
still
men
keep
are
the
supposed to.
children though.
all
Sorry.
right.
Women keep the
So,
children.
let me ask a question. So, Anna, good night, Anna. How are you? So, let me ask you a question, Anna. So, we just hear Mr. Socrates give us some gems. So, I want to ask you, is what Mr. Socrates is saying true? Because he's saying that, obviously he has his three P's: producing, protecting, providing. However, he said men lead with, all right, let me try a little money thing here and see if it work. So, Anna, if a man now come to you and throw the money bait out there, obviously, as Socrates said, he have everything together. Good career, smell good, look good, everything together. But his network throw are the money thing first. As a woman, how is that received by you?
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm going to start quickly because it's still carnival after party going on around my yard. All right, so my
Uptown.
apologies for the background music and my voice that is somehow going. All right, just a little backtrack here. I am traditional in the sense that I do believe that the man is to provide for his family and to protect his family. I'm a
Okay.
stick for that. Okay, so if I am to look for a partner, that is going to be on my list to see if he's financially stable in order to not only take care of himself, but can take care of me and in the event that kids come into the picture. So if he's not financially stable, as I've said on my WhatsApp status, Kems, if you not have no money and you can't provide for your woman as a man, you must remain single. And I
Hold
stand.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, Anna, hold on, hold on. All right, understood. Hold on. Well, let me ask you.
Namaste.
Let me ask you, Anna. What woman do it for their money? We just want to know. Because, all right, because men are
All
coming
right.
to the table, you know. Men coming to the table and men must have money for them, for you, and the family. So, what does a woman do with her money?
All
Wait.
right.
Socrates, answer no in Muslim.
No, we don't want
What?
to hear about
No, no, no,
Socrates
no, no,
answer.
no, no. Socrates, tell them no. A woman's money is their money, right? A man's money is for the family. Tell me them no, no, Socrates, and them say
He
your
told
priest.
us that like 2 weeks ago. He did.
All right,
And I
continue.
run it by us now.
All right. So back in the days when men used to go out and work, they had to provide for their family. Right? The woman would stay home and she would ensure that the running of the house was done smoothly. He would come, he would give her part of his salary, or maybe he would give her her salary in some households. She would divide it, he gets his share, and the remainder of the money, she makes sure that some goes to savings and the rest effortlessly runs the house. Now it's a different time period wherein women are now forced to go out to work for myriads of reasons.
No, but not.
No, no, in my from my standpoint, I do will have my money and it is there to help with the running of the household. So therefore certain little quote unquote nuances the man would not have to be worrying about, right? So making sure that groceries in the house, everything is in order, the kids are all right, whatever it is that they need. The big stuff I will make him sweat, the small stuff I don't need to make him sweat. So I will have my money.
So so
But
you're so hold on. So hold on. So your big money just handle the small stuff, the groceries, the mop, the Lysol, the Fabuloso. That's what your big money do.
And you know, if you look good, the laundry them for $2
For
so
Shein.
yes, Sims,
for Shein.
exactly.
Okay.
So in the event wherein he needs any support, right? Because I do believe that in a relationship we would be communicating or expenses, whatever investments we might need to go into, etc. I will be there to say, okay, all right, this is the cash that I have. I will put that towards X, and we can do X, Y, Z, and things will just run smoothly,
All
right?
right. Anna, one
Um,
second there. Stop right there, so there. 1 second. I
mhm.
just want to ask you another question. So you said that on your WhatsApp status, you put say, if you're not financially stable, you should stay single, right?
If you cannot, as a man, if you cannot provide for your woman, you should remain single.
All right. So let me ask you. So if you meet a man today, when is the expectation for that man provide for you? Tomorrow? Like, I want to know like
So
where's the
if a
window?
man meets me now, I am going to be looking for certain characteristics that will indicate to me that this man not only has proven to me that he's somewhat financially stable in his life, but he can take care of me, right? I'm not going to expect it what you are looking for in terms of him to say take care of my rent and so on and so forth, that's his personal choice. There are many times that men have offered to do that for me, and because of my pride I have not allowed it to happen. Simple things as just buy me groceries, wanting to pay a bill, wanting to just pay my fee at the hairdresser and so on. Because of my pride I have refused such, I have had men who said that, I'm not going to offer to do anything for you. I'm going to wait until you ask me to do it. So,
So those guys, those. I'm sorry for cutting Anna, but just want to know. So those guys, do they get like a sticky? That we call it back. Do they get a sticky in
no,
your book? Those guys who offer to
no,
pay the rent.
it's just one of the many factors that as a woman, me individually look for in a man. So that doesn't
You
mean
look
that,
for it to
hey,
turn them
you be
down. I don't
paying.
understand it.
No, it's just
Pardon?
one thing. It's not.
It's
That's
not
not the
the
end
only
all.
thing.
That's not the only
Yeah, it's not
thing.
the end
No,
all.
no, no. You say you look, hold on.
No,
Hold on. You say you look for financial stability, but you say
stability
when them offer, you turn it down.
because
So
of
no,
my
my love.
pride.
So you
I
look
did
for it,
say
but you
that.
don't want it.
So
Remember,
I
no,
want
Ryan
it,
said she should.
yes,
Somebody should
but
just
because of
know.
my pride, because of my upbringing, and also because of how selfish some men are, and how tattletale some men are, bitchy some men are, I tend to not want to accept it based on their reasoning, their mental capacity, or perspective on certain things. I will not accept it. Me nah go make no man bitch over for just pay my taxi fare when me can do that. That's the mentality of majority of the men these days, sadly. It boils
But
No,
down
we
but
to
can't use,
you
we
say you
can't
also
use
come
so
across
since you have
men
a
who
problem,
offer to pay your rent.
Hold
taking
on,
care
Ryan.
of
Let me
women,
finish.
just stay by yourself.
All right, Ryan, go ahead.
No, you say you also have men who offer to do the most for you and you turn them down.
Yeah.
However, before that, you say you look for financial stability. So you look for it, but you turn it down. So
What if he's also
help me
if he
out.
also has other, all right. So for example, I'm looking for a guy who's this and that, whatever. I see that he's doing this, but at the same time, he's maybe uttered a few times that him beat woman. That's a dead no, right there.
No,
So
but
it's not like
I never get that from Anna though.
right, because she's just saying that there are men who does it and she kind of turned them down, but we don't know the reason why. There could be other stuff that she not really effing with.
But that's why I ask her. That's why I ask her.
But I
Please
did
tell me.
state it. I did state it. Due to my pride, I have rejected those advances.
No, that's not what we're
Due
talking
to
about.
also how it is that some men use those kind of advances to kind of cut the woman, when afterwards you know that they really and genuinely don't care in wanting to take care of the female. So I just decided that instead of having somebody have that over me, I will just leave it out. I will just do it myself.
All right, so here is sensational music. So I have a question for everyone. Why is it that the
yes.
man always have to have a job, have money, etc., but the women don't? Hey, my
Sensational.
woman.
Nobody never said that.
Oh, you
Nobody
mean
never
nobody
said
Exactly.
never
that.
No
said
one is
that?
saying that. It's
Nobody
a
never said
different
that.
time period. If you take up a broke girl, that is on you.
Nobody never said that because a lot of
So,
times you have women a curse woman to be a careless girl, etc., etc.
Yeah.
You're not careless, but you're not take up carelessness either.
yeah, but at least nowadays wooden spoon. One woman then bring some money to the thing right now, man. Go on,
Sure,
right?
I used to look for the girl with them at work. Why you look for girl when I work?
But even woman where I work, I complain, so them don't have the money. So
Please, man do that all the time too. I always say them now the money and yes, them back out little cash and then buy something for themselves. We say that all the time, but that don't mean
Man
so.
give, who them want them money. It's simple.
Thank you. And women do the same thing
Man,
too.
I
okay.
mean, I have met guys who them say them not take up no broke girl, etc., etc. But let that broke quote unquote broke girl meet his, phenotype that he likes, meaning she looks the part that he likes. That gone through the window now, that gone through the window. She not have money anymore, right?
Not not the high value men on this podcast. The high value men on this podcast will not take up no broke girl. None.
What is the definition of high value?
Huh?
What is the definition of high value?
Not
Ryan,
broke.
Ryan, Wally, Gio, Kemar. Okay, on and on and on.
Examples, not definition.
No, that's a definition. High value
So
Kemar. Teacher?
But so that mean I have all the options then, man. So why not, twist and
No,
screw
I'm
about
just
the men
no,
who aren't high value and who aren't
no, because
so,
so this is the thing.
lucky enough to have the plethora of options that you high value men have.
I
So
mean, let
Because
me
we
just
have
say,
to speak for the other men. We are the voice of reasoning.
Let the men speak, please.
What's that?
that I
Let the
am
men
not.
speak, please.
Don't be disrespectful. Don't do that.
Let the men speak, please.
Don't be
Sure.
disrespectful. Don't do that.
Go on, talk, Levon. What you say?
Go on, continue.
Okay,
Oh,
go
come
on,
on,
Socrates.
Yeah, let me just say for all of those watching and listening and the females there, I don't subscribe to that what Ken said a while ago about high value man. High value men do not want women with money. And the reason for that is
They are already
men want different
providing.
things that women want. So, for argument's sake, when a guy is a high value man, he craves femininity in a woman. What is femininity? Beauty, the fact that she's domesticated, the fact that she knows to shut her mouth and not speak out of turn, the fact that she knows to take care of a house. On the flip, so here's how it goes, Ken. I'm just saying.
All right, teach me,
If
Socrates,
you
teach me.
let me say it like this. All right. For a man who is a high value man, him wanting a woman who have a big career or have a big business or make a lot of money is not attractive for him. And here's the reason why. Because the flip side is the same. If you're a woman, would you want a man who dress in heels and dress and those things? No. So you don't want a feminine man. So why would a high value man want a masculine woman? That don't make any sense. Because for a woman to have a certain level of success, she has to have masculine traits to get to that level of success. You might have one or few women who have had great success. Some of them are in politics, like the Margaret Thatchers of the world, and all of those women have masculine traits in there. Because to be successful, there has to be a crossover because men are the leaders in terms of, development of the world, creating things, making sure the world runs properly. So if you're a high value man, there's no value in having a woman who earns highly. If you check it another way, if you go on a boat right now, like a yacht, with pure billionaire men, look on the women that you see on the boat. Young, pretty, beautiful on their hands. Some of them come from the deepest part of the ghetto. They not have nothing. But because of their femininity, their beauty, that is what a man want when he has high value. Him no want a woman with him and her a war about, who for pay that billion next week or who for pay that billion next week because you earn that money there and me I earn that money there. Man, a high value man don't really want that. Me just say that for who are listening. So me don't know Ken's definition of high
Okay.
value.
So Socrates. So we'll use your definition. So in that case, what would be the definition of me? Because I thought I was high value, but I guess I'm not. So what am I now? A simp?
Well, I don't know what
These
you
terms are
identify yourself to be, because these days people identify with being everything. But I'm just saying that for me, your view on life is that you want somebody to share what you are doing. The fact of the matter is that don't put you in the, to me, and I'm that's just my opinion. That don't put
Fine.
you in the high value man category. It probably put you in the partnership kind of person category. But I'm saying to you, my brother, even earlier when you said that, for you want to put the helper in the thing and all of that. The point of having a partner as a woman is not for both of you to be killing yourself to make somebody else rich by going to work. There has to be roles. There has to be roles. The fact that you grew up with a helper does not give your mother any brownie points, because she really is the helper raise you. It's not really a mother. And so therefore, even though it's your mother and you have a deep connection with your mother, she doesn't get to rub off on you the things that you should learn from her. You don't really get to learn them, because remember, children don't live what they learn, they live what they see. And you grew up seeing what the helper does every day. Your parents go to work and they come home, so you kind of grew up yourself. If you understand what I mean, so you kind of grew up yourself. So you take on your own thing. You not get to learn certain things from your parents, and so even now, probably if you think about it and you say, how exactly is my mother as a person? What are her views on certain things? Like what are her views on world religion? What are her views on, you know, even prenups? And you won't even know because she hasn't she hasn't really rubbed off her own persona on you growing up. So I believe that some of those things is kind of just, just talking, kind of just trying to get perspectives. But for me, a high value man always want a woman to be feminine. The more feminine a woman is for a high value man, is better for him.
Okay.
And like I would say, I repeat, the high value man don't like eat out a road. So him like have a woman who can make him favorite meals when he come home from work. Him like a woman who understands that they have a responsibility to help raise the kids. He wants a woman who knows she looks pretty, but for him, he don't really want a woman who will go a party and all sort of thing with our friend them who are not of great characters. That is not what high value men want. And so
But Mr. Socrates, so let us pause right there. Brilliant point. Because, Mr. Socrates, I get to understand that these young ladies nowadays, when they tell them the same verbiage what you just used, right? When you tell them the same thing, they tell you, say, you're controlling. They tell you, say, oh, you want to tell them what to do. Like, for example, Miss Anna right here. I'm sure she just come from the nice little carnival out her road. And that...
So not tell like Anna, my goodness.
yeah, but
So Anna go carnival.
yeah, but Ken, what I'm saying, Ken, is that's the thing. You run that risk when a woman is now gainfully employed, so she start dealing with you worse than her boss. So if her boss tells her come to work at 8 a.m., she gets there at 8. If him say work overtime, she work overtime. But if you tell her don't go to the club with your raunchy friends and she don't listen to you, know what that means? It means that she don't have enough respect for you. High value men crave respect from women. And if you can't have respect from women, you don't have any relationship. So you definitely ever get born. Because I make you know.
All right, Mr. Socrates, every time I come here, I'm worried.
Kim, you can't
be like
talk for
Mussolini,
me,
you know,
Kim. You can't talk for me because any man with me I date know say I have my recreational time and he will respect that. He will be all for that. But on every pan we beat me I got the door. That much.
So hold on. So is carnival recreational for you?
Yes.
Oh,
Interesting. All
you
right.
go to Anna?
Pardon?
You went to Carnival?
Yes, I did.
And you home already?
Mr. Boss,
Yes, early finish on the dot 6:30. After
Boss,
party.
Oh, you don't go to after parties. Okay.
hold on the wooden spoon. Mr. Boss behind the scenes. Can you, Mr. Levon, can you put up some of those things that we saw at Carnival today? And I really need to talk about this because
It
this
is
is a
culture.
Why?
It is
Why?
culture, woman.
It is
Why?
culture.
Why for that?
That
Why?
can't be culture, brother.
I sat under a cabana, okay, and
Why?
watched people.
Even kids had costumes back in the day. It is culture.
That is true. They had kiddies carnival back in the days.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dean.
So why are the one that them have to put up?
No, come
So
on.
where's the girl's face? Where is
No,
the
because
girl? Like,
we
come
don't
on.
face. We don't
No, we have to
want
cut out the
nobody in
face.
trouble. We don't want nobody to sue we. But come on now, look at this, gentlemen. Especially you, Socrates. Look at this.
I will not look on that. First of all, as a Muslim, I will not look
the
on that.
Muslim man. Oh my goodness.
So I just want to add that promiscuous women have the less chance of having a successful marriage. They have the least chance of having a successful marriage because it means that so many people have seen you literally naked. And so how are you of value to me as a high value man if you are promiscuous? If you are out there doing those sort of things, you have exposed the goods that I would want to have sacred to me. And so if so many people have seen it, I will not see value in you.
Come on now, gentlemen.
I want tell us it.
Hold on.
And them woman they are walk down church island and good man if you walk in a
Tell them,
supermarket island.
Gio.
I
Tell
think.
them. And me who are cover up. I know me can't get no ring
Hold
from my
on.
finger.
I think we're using the wrong terms here, and I think terms are very important when we speak. Like for example, promiscuous. Is it that she dress because she dresses
Yeah.
skimpily? She's promiscuous.
From once a woman is comfortable with dressing skimpily and exposing that, whether she have that on her Instagram, whether she have that on any social media, whether she do that at a party,
So
whether she do that at
she has
carnival,
multiple sexual partners because she dresses like that.
she do what?
She has multiple sexual partners because
No,
she dresses like that.
it has nothing to do with sexual partners. It
But
has
you
to do
said she's
with,
promiscuous.
yes, so it has to do with if you are exposing yourself to the vision of millions of people, it means your body is no longer sacred. Because what I see in my own personal space with you, 1,000, a million people have seen it already.
I
So
completely
it
get that in
doesn't
a
get it
Socrates.
drops your value.
No, I get that but you called her promiscuous.
Yes. What is the definition of being promiscuous?
Yeah.
From what I know, promiscuous is that the person has multiple sexual partners.
No, that's one definition, but
What is the other definition?
promiscuity means somebody who is an extrovert, somebody who is just living, just taking all sort of lewd, nude pictures, just living pretty much. Just don't care about anybody's opinion about what they do. That's why people have OnlyFans, and when they're on OnlyFans, they believe that they have an exclusive set of guys who pay to see them. But
Yeah.
at the same time, they are not exclusive because these guys are 99% simp. That's their only way to see a female naked, you know?
Okay, so transient sexual relationships, demonstrating or implying an unselective approach, indiscriminate or casual.
So that's
Right.
what I'm saying, just living.
Right, but in
You
this
know?
term, would we describe a girl that is skimpily, dressed promiscuous?
Yeah, because that's a part of her character. I'm saying that, yeah, as you saw the second definition, she's just living. So that is part of promiscuity, right? So having the multiple partners, all right. So here's this. Women always say, when you say to a woman, why do you go and do your hairs and your nails and you buy these nice clothes? I say, oh, I want to look good. For who?
The
I
claim
am
says
asking, for who do you
the
want to look
claim
good?
says for themselves.
You
So,
can't
Themselves,
be
that's
looking good
know.
for yourself. They know that it's foolishness. They want to look good for the males because they want to
No,
capture the best guy possible.
Anna,
I
When
want to
Anna,
look
you
good
go
for
to the
myself. Sorry.
Anna,
so
no, Anna,
you
stop.
looking at yourself and looking good for yourself, how does that benefit you?
Right. So
It makes me
Socrates
feel
now.
empowered. It makes me feel better about myself. I like to look sexy and I
According to
feel
whom?
sexy
All right. So
according
you're
to
looking good for
me.
yourself. No,
But
no.
if a man or even a woman compliments me, that is brata. But me never did I dress up for women in the first place.
What I'm
Right.
saying, sister, is this, right? What I'm saying, Anna, if you feel like you have, say, a self-esteem issue and you want to dress up and look good and so, all right, you look in the mirror, you feel good about yourself. Why won't you stay in the mirror? Why would you go out there for somebody to give you a compliment if it was done for you?
I don't go out for someone to give me a compliment. Even if I don't do my hair and I quote unquote look ugly in the street and someone compliments me, is it me seeking attention? If
No,
I'm
I'm not saying
naturally
no sort of
beautiful and
thing.
I decide to clean up by washing my hair or relaxing it or whatever, and someone decides to compliment me, it's not attention seeking. It's just that they see my beauty and they like what they see, and I accept their compliment. That's brata. But personally, if no one says anything to me, it doesn't make me less of a woman.
No,
I don't feel
but,
less than
but,
a person.
but, but,
I'm
Anna,
just saying,
I
do you
understand.
understand the makeup industry is one
Hold,
of the most successful industries in the world? Who
hold
make
on the
that possible?
Socrates. Hold on the Socrates. Anna, so,
Men
Men,
wear makeup first.
hold
Men
on.
wear makeup first.
Hold on. What I'm saying, Anna, and I think as human beings, we always try to act like so we're crazy or so. Everybody in this world, I don't care who you be, everybody in this world, when whatever them do, probably a fraction of it for themselves, but they also do it for other people. When Wally go get a haircut or want to look nice, obviously for himself is presentable. But again, woman look on him, he
I
want woman look
mean,
good. When
Kamar, the
how
only
do
time I
we
will
mean,
ask
man?
for feedback, the only time I will ask for feedback is if I'm wearing an outfit or done in a hairstyle that I don't feel comfortable in. That means I know within myself, me no look good in it. I ask somebody now for the feedback. That's the only
so
time I ever
no,
ask person for
no,
You
no,
can't
feedback.
so
say you
feedback.
ask feedback.
Otherwise, if I'm okay in my outfit, I'm okay with my hairstyle, me not ask a soul.
No, Anna. Okay, my understanding I ask a school. I understand that, right? But I'm saying, I believe
Women
we
are
have
not
mixed up
honest
two things.
about this, but
Right?
that's all right.
We think we have mixed up two things. I think what Socrates is saying is that whenever you are doing any kind of beautification to yourself, it is never solely for yourself. Like it's never okay. I go comb my hair, I go get a line up, I go get a tape up solely for myself. It is just
If
never
I have
solely
my
for you.
man, if I have my man, yeah, me I dress up for him too. If I have
Anna,
my man,
let me just say something here, Anna. A lot of men, if you ask them, a lot of men who are successful, if you ask them why them do this and do that, they will tell you, say, I forget woman. They say, if them never look
That's
woman,
men.
them uno do this, and them uno do that, and them uno do this, and them uno do that.
That's
Cause
men.
that natural for you. If
well,
all
that
right,
is
Exactly.
them.
So
That is them. But I
you
realize
said,
that
no,
we are doing a broad brush
we're
kind of
talking
thing,
about
and
human
that is
beings
why
here,
I
right?
am speaking from my point of view. Me,
Anna, some of
no
what you do, and Anna,
business.
all of what you do for yourself.
Me
Stop the
no
foolishness.
business if
Stop
a
the
man
foolishness.
compliments me or not. What I'm saying is when I do dress up, it is to make me feel happy. It is not my intention to catch a man.
You're
Me
right.
not,
All
me not
right.
have to do that.
Can I say something a bit?
Sure.
So with the a lot of men know they have a problem with how women present themselves in the street, right? Now, if all this uproar that men have about how women present themselves in the street, wouldn't don't you think they would change if they did it for the men
No, because they're getting validated by another group of men.
that they
So you
what?
would
have,
never date,
Yes,
I'm sorry?
they are
that
being
they wouldn't
validated
date,
by Sims, who are 90% of men.
that they wouldn't date? They would take money from them, but they wouldn't date them. No,
But,
all right, look at this. There are women who are, dress very skimpily, right? And when they're ready to get married, then they change how they, actually want to, dress and everything to attract the type of person that they want. More
Mhm.
cover up, more
There you
etc.
go.
Right? That is when they would do that, because a lot of times they would dress up and be like, oh, we can't wear this because I'm not getting a husband. So they know what to wear in order to get a husband, but in their mind it's boring. They don't feel beautiful in it, right? So a lot of the time, no, when they put on the extra long nails and the etc., it's what dazzles their eyes. I've never heard a man say, look, I love the girl them with the long eyelash, or I love them with the long nails, or I love the girl them with the makeup and whatever. I've never heard anyone say it. Maybe I'm wrong, but for me
Yeah.
personally, I've never heard anyone say it. Right? But they still do it because it's something that, as in, a lot of times they throw out the thing that women are selfish creatures, right? And it's all about themselves. It's how they feel. So when a woman feels confident and she goes out, like, a man is attracted to, men are usually attracted to women. I can say that safely. Men are usually attracted to women, right? So they see a woman, she's confident in herself, she's beautiful. There are things that he will see on her that he doesn't like, but he can look past it and look at her. No, she isn't doing it to attract him, because they already know that the men don't like the nails and the whatever. So she'll sit at a date and she's talking, and the nails going off and whatever. And he's like, when I too like the nails, and she's like, well, I don't care, and I love them. You know, these are things that they like to see. So when they put on the makeup, it's like they create this. I don't want to say illusion because it might sound away, but they create this character when they dress up that they like, right? When a guy is attracted to them, it's not because of, they're not dressing up as the character that the men like. They're dressing up as what they like to see, what they believe is beautiful. The
So
only
wouldn't you?
time I would say they dress up for a man is when they would change how they actually like to dress in order to attract the type of man that they want.
Uh, So wooden
And a
spoon.
couple things here, please. A couple things here. I want to address the two females. First, let me talk about what Spooner talked about a while ago. Now, one of the things with women are so delusional, you see, that women actually believe themselves. Women are creatures who believe that they don't need to understand men to get them. So why they dress up and do these things is because they feel like Spoon is saying, oh, I feel good about myself, and if somebody sees and like it, great, whatever, whatever. But the thing is, because they don't feel like they have to work for a man. Here, who them are gonna work for? Them are gonna work for the 1% of men who every woman want. And that brings me over to what Anna was talking about. So she dress up because she want to feel good about herself. The truth of the matter is that women are in constant competition as to how they look amongst their friends. So part of women
Friends.
dressing up to go somewhere is because when they go into the club, them can't make a girl out to them. If a girl out
Yeah,
to them know
it's
say.
not for the men. It's
them
not,
know
That
it's
is
say.
for
basically
some.
it's a
Again,
competition
But hold
between
on,
again,
let me
you're
finish.
broad.
Let me
Again,
finish. Let me
Scrappy,
finish
you're
up,
broad
please.
brushing,
So them
Hold on,
can't
and
make
I
hold
a
have
on,
a
girl
hold
out to
on,
problem
them.
with
hold
that
on, hold on.
Yeah,
because
Let's
you're
give the
so them
broad
ladies a
brushing.
chance.
let me just finish. Them can't make a girl out to them. The girl them who are dressed up. Why is it that they are dressing to outdo each other? Because them want to see the best man them can get in at the club. All them attack like them just don't want you. Them don't admit it, you know.
That's a
But
woman
when
who
they
isn't
go to the
comfortable in
place,
her
I
skin,
know.
sweetie.
I think that is a delusion that you men live in because
Yeah.
okay,
it's not a competition to who can get the best man. I've never in any of my years
really?
any woman that I have been, in I can only speak on my experience, right? And I've only been a female my entire I've been a female my entire life, and I have been to the club. I have been out, you know. I have been
All
out
right.
and everything.
Yeah.
It's never a fact that me have to get the best man tonight. It's more like a look good type of thing, look feel good type of thing.
Um,
Never,
For who to
never.
compliment you, your
wooden
friend?
spoon,
No, we
wooden
don't
spoon. Let me ask a
actually
question.
ask for compliments, or we don't dress to get compliments.
Wooden
Ryan,
spoon.
before you answer that question, let me just read
Yeah.
this comment. So some the beekeeper saying women dress like that because they think that actually look good. The target mates don't actually think it looks good, so they're just deceiving themselves that they're making
Exactly.
themselves look good.
Look,
Exactly.
Wooden
look,
spoon. Hold on,
it's
wooden
like
spoon.
Ryan. Just one more point.
All
It's
right, cool.
like when a woman dresses simply, right? And the man that looks at her and makes advance and go as far as to touch her said she wants it because why would she dress like that if she didn't want me to touch her? Right? If she didn't want me to make advance to her, why would she dress like that? And a lot of times women are like, I don't that's not the reason why I dress like that. It's not to attract you, it's just something that I like to see myself in. It's the exact same point that a lot of women are trying to push to this day. It is not for you, it is for them. It is their reason why they do it.
So
All
let
right.
me
Can I ask my question to you now, wooden spoon?
Yeah.
After Ryan, then what?
Okay. So if five men courting, all right,
Yeah.
and you have a list of things in your head where you want, and one of the man cover three, right? One cover four, one cover five, one cover six, and one cover all of them. You gonna choose the one that cover three or four?
What kind of question? What are you heading at, Ryan?
Yes or no?
Yo,
No,
yeah,
You gonna choose
I
the one
got
that cover
different.
most or all,
no.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So woman want the best man they can get. Move
Ryan,
on.
how is that going to,
But
how
who
does that
does it
relate to the
though?
point? I don't
Ryan,
know that.
all
Yo,
who
right.
does
So
it
so
I
though?
so
used
let
to
me
have
Who
Relate.
special
was the
to
best
How
Bomba.
person
does
in
that
Una
his
relate to
always
the
community?
want the
point?
best man una can get at the
Ah,
end
Yeah,
of the
How does
day.
that
Oh,
relate to
man
women
want the
regardless of
best
how
dressing?
no
man
one
them
twist
can
it,
get too.
All right,
regardless of how no one twist it, una always going look
I
for the
think
all right.
best
completely
man
off topic
possible.
But
though.
Ryan, hold on. So hold on there. So again, love the discussion, but all of we can talk same time because we're not
Yes,
here.
sorry, Dale is right. A lot of women really don't dress for themselves. A lot of people is a kind of, you do certain things because you see your friends in it. A lot of people were, sheltered, so they don't even know what they like. That they try this, they say, "Oh, this girl do it," and all the girls, I'm jealous of her. Let me do it. It's like I don't know. I guess you have to be a woman to kind of understand how the mind kind of work. But really, it kind of puzzle me why a lot of men they'll sit down and say, so she wear that because of me. She knows that me I come though. And the girl probably, as in her mind, she's like, somebody see this girl wear this and she looks so sexy in there. I think if me wear it, me gonna look sexy too. Like me just like a lot of women have this struggle to feel sexy and beautiful. It's like they like to know that they're sexy and beautiful. It's not
Be-
really to attract a
because
man
of
because
what? Because
it's
of
not
what?
no,
Why do
honestly,
you
for
want to
real.
feel like that?
It is not really to attract the man because a lot of all right. What about married women, right? Married women who are in relationships that are happy, they still want to feel beautiful. Not
Look,
not really for what they don't wear what the man like. They wear what they like.
look at
Yeah,
so what?
because they don't want people to see them
Hold,
a road look
hold
and
on
look
there,
a
Ryan.
certain way. So it's
Hold
for
on.
people.
Hold on. I'm gonna make Wally talk, because the man away for talk on 30 minutes. So I make Wally
Sorry,
talk.
Wally.
But what I say is, to your point, Witherspoon, Mrs. Steph Curry wife come out the other day, say she still want to be desired by other men out the road. And all of them something the big millionaire, trillionaire man. She still wants to be desired. But see another woman come out as well and say, I agree with Steph Curry wife. I have my good husband here, so but I still want to be desired as well. So,
But wait,
but
now how
before,
much
hold on with
woman
the
says she
spoon.
crazy?
Hold on with the spoon. Before you go, I'm gonna make Wally
Sorry.
talk. At 30 minutes, you know, wait. Go ahead, Wally.
All right, so both things are actually true and can be true. I think they so let me help out wooden spoon. So I don't think she's saying that there are no occasions where women dress up for men. What she's saying is that it's not every time a woman dress up is for a man. So that's a key distinction that is being made. So let me draw a parallel from the male perspective. So you know that a flashy vehicle will attract a woman,
But you
but
know,
it's not every man who buys a flashy vehicle is doing it to attract females. The attracting females comes as a byproduct. So if I am a car enthusiast, right, from ever since, and okay, I see the Porsche GTR, the Porsche GT3 come out, and I say, yo, I need to get this vehicle because I have that passion for motor vehicles. When I get that vehicle now, woman who never used to show interest in me, going to show interest in me. But the motivation for getting the vehicle is not to attract women, but the women are attracted as a byproduct. So similarly, you have women who they will dress up for
Willie,
themselves.
that not similar, Willie. That not similar, but go on talk.
yes,
That
it
not
You know,
similar.
is. Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
It
Yes, it
is.
Not
It
is.
is.
similar.
So
Yes, it
so
is.
so
Hold
because
Willie,
on, Socrates. Hold on, Socrates. You soon get
remember,
your chance, Socrates. Hold
we're
on.
not disputing, we're not disputing that there are instances where women dress up for men. The distinction is that it is not every time a woman dresses up nice, it's for a man. I think that is the distinction that Wooden Spoon and Anna are trying to make. So nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong with saying that you have women who dress up for men. That is a fact. But the distinction is that not every time a woman dresses up good, she has on her mind that I'm doing this to attract a man. Whether
That's
or not a man is attracted to her as a result of that doesn't mean that her initial motivation for dressing up good is to get a man. I think that is the
Finally, a man with
distinction that is
sense.
being made.
Big up yourself,
you can
Wally.
respond to Willie, Games.
yeah, go ahead,
So
boss.
hear me, I say now, Willie. It's not similar. It's not similar. First of all, we are talking about dress codes and how people look. Now, I can ask both females on the panel. First of all, I'm going to assume that these females are heterosexual. Are you guys heterosexual? I'm
And
going to
why
assume.
would you ask a
No,
personal
I'm asking that.
right?
I have to ask because you guys could be lesbians. I don't know.
Why
I'm
would you ask
You
people
could be two
all right.
personal?
spirited.
All right, cool. So if you are heterosexual as a woman, your main goal in life is to be happy, isn't that? Your main goal in life is to be happy. Whatever makes you happy is
All
to be
right.
happy. Part of what makes you happy is naturally to have a family. And for you to have a family, a man must be a part of that. So you can have a family if you do have a man as a part of that. No. Everything you do as a woman, directly or indirectly relates to attracting the best guy you can get in your dress code, in your speech, in your attitude, in whatever you do to present yourself as the best candidate for that guy who you are interested in to start that family. So subconsciously, with it, whether or not a woman now get up and say, me I put on the blouse, I come go attract a man, no. But the same way I go to the barber or Ryan or any other body for say, if me go to the road, there's other girls to be look a certain way. It don't make sense. It don't make no sense. Cause if me tell her morning, she good in no answer. So you wanna let me get myself groomed, not for the woman, cause of that you tell yourself. But really and truly, we do it for the ladies, man. We do men do it for the ladies, women do it for the men. Even though women don't admit it, that is what it is. That is
She
it.
did
Why,
say that though. That's why you know listen. She did say, and I even said it too. If me a date a man, or if there's a man that I have interest in, but probably more than likely I will turn up the dressing for make
But
him
that is
notice me.
different. I'm not
But
saying what you are saying.
otherwise from that, when me going to the store and me see that body rider shirt there, me say me like it. And when me try it and if me say grab up my tiny body and make it look good, me go buy it. Because me
And
say
who you
grab
want
up
to
my
see?
body good.
Who you want to
Otherwise
see?
from that, me
That's
not buy it because me feel like so one man out the road that go like me in the battery rider shorts. Even though when me wear it, go at the occasion when me go wear it go, but at beach or whatever, it's highly possible that a man may call to me in it because him one of them man they will love to get battery jar out the door. And it's highly also possible that a man will not call to me because
Ken,
him feel like say me too raunchy in my dressing. But at
I,
the
Ken,
end of the day, me feel comfortable in the
I
battery
can't, I
we can't
can't.
follow up that, Ken. The only thing what me I say is the challenge with this is modern day women is that what they don't understand is that women in this modern day, they control access to sex, but they do not control access to relationships.
all
So
of us are
therefore,
modern.
they will do what they need to do to attract the guy who will definitely sex them. Kind of them mind them want a man to sex them, because women attach sex to relationship, which sex and relationship are totally different. So
I beg to
exactly.
differ. It's the male who does that. Sorry.
okay, I think you're not understanding. So let me repeat again. Women attach sex to relationship. Men don't. The point is,
Thank
if
you.
a woman see a guy and she like him, and he might press push all of the button them for to say, yo, say that brother you have a potential and thing. If she get to the point in her head where she have vision, said, I'm gonna have sex me. You see, when she get him on the sex, she believes that is the start of the relationship. While a man they just a give her two sex like any other girl.
But brother, which part you live? Because enough girl
But
just see
hold
a man
on,
and just say we're gonna have sex with them
but
and
Anna,
leave them. Where are you these days?
but Anna, I'm saying to you that
Remember, we're talking
women,
about modern women,
Anna,
I mean,
but
you're saying
Anna,
No, but
modern
but
to
women.
be
but
frank,
Socrates need to know say modern women these days. Them just have sex with man for fun and left them high and dry and the man perturbed because him believe say
She wear
majority
the
of the time when
sexiest
him get the
attractive.
sex a relationship them in a
that are
I
the
just
symptom, Anna.
nowadays
That
just
are the symptom.
nowadays man decides say them now gonna
That
put
are the
all of them
symptom
egg
who
in a
not get
one
a lot of
basket.
sex. That are the symptom who not get a lot of sex. So them frightened when a girl in their mind look good, seek them out and give them some sex, them run gone a relationship. But
All right.
men who have no issue like all me, who grew up as all a baller, who don't have no issue against any
Tamara,
woman,
you can't talk,
them
please.
come with them things that are nothing. Do what they
All
are.
right. So Socrates,
All right.
right? Socrates, how many percentage of, men do you think are quote unquote high value, as these terms that you guys like to use?
Three
Oh,
to four
Are they the
percent.
majority? Are
Three
they the
to four percent. No, only 3 to
oh,
four
they are
percent.
not the majority of men.
Right.
hey,
Can't be
Exactly.
the
So
majority of men.
hey,
exactly, it is
hey,
not the
hey.
majority of men. So when we're talking, yeah, when we're trying to say that, men this and men that and whatever, and like, if you consider you a part being a part of the 3 to 4% or whatever, you can only speak on your experience. But women walk on the streets every day and they know what they experience from these
Of course.
majority. They know
But
what
I
they
agree with
experience
you. We
from this
agree,
majority.
Hey, hold on there, hold on there, hold on there, hold on there, hold on there. I must say, Socrates is great. Every time I ever show me need to come on, because you are indeed
All them hurt
great,
your
Mr.
feelings
Socrates.
saying a high
But here,
value.
we're gonna bring back. I mean, I know how the conversation way over
Bring it back.
and worry and all of that. So I'm gonna bring it back to the carnival discussion. What we did have. Can we reach a carnival and then we reach this
And
and that?
the dressing thing cause man. The carnival dressing.
Yeah.
Carry over the stuff.
What I really wanted to ask the men, was if it would have been okay for your spouse or your girlfriend to go to carnival without you, one, or two, could they go to carnival without you dressing like that? That was really the question that I wanted to ask, and then it go in a total different direction, which I appreciated the discussion. It evoked some emotions that I really like. But Ryan, answer that question.
Going to carnival, probably, but dressing like that, absolutely no. Can't just like that and I go to carnival.
Why is that?
Huh?
Why? Why she couldn't dress like that and go?
Because it's a representation. She's a representation of me. Same like how me can go on road and do certain things to embarrass her. I don't want her to go to carnival dressed like that.
So let us talk about the jumping and the different bands, Exodus and Hyundai and all of them people.
Hyundai.
I see people Hyundai strip on them shirt and stuff. So
Jamaica.
would you be okay with your wife, girlfriend jumping in a band with all these people?
All these tick.
How the band thing go? I've only been to like Beach Juve like twice or so, and carnival like maybe once, not Kingston Carnival though. So I'm not so familiar with the jumping thing and the band thing or whatever. I don't know how hard them go and stuff like that. So
well, I think it's like a group of people, and they dance together and
dress the same. Or,
yeah, and they have the same costume and them spray upon them this and
once it's not in degrading, once you're not just degrading and be a vulgar and something like that, then no. But if you're going dressed like the
Carnival is vulgar.
Yeah, but not everybody be a vulgar. Cause I go Beach Juve, I may not be a vulgar.
So you just stand up and watch the vulgar.
I never said that. I say I may not behave vulgar.
All right.
Yeah, so all you do is just stand up and watch the vulgarity, right?
So what I'll say is
I never said that either.
So
you know you can't dance and enjoy yourself and not be a vulgar, right?
So you dance by yourself, right, Ryan?
Ryan, listen now. You said
you're not listening.
So you just watch. That means you just watch the vulgarity then. You just look.
I dance and I enjoy myself.
So you never see any vulgar behavior happen?
Of course, vulgar behavior.
That is what she's asking you. That's exactly what she asked you.
But I'm saying it's not everybody participate in the same.
He watched and he danced by himself.
Answer your question. Let me backtrack and answer your question because I think you guys missing what I'm saying. You asked me about if she were to go and whatever, and I said, sure. Once what she's doing is not vulgar, and once she not dress a certain type of skimpy, sure.
Expound. What you mean? Give me examples. What is a certain kind of skimping?
People can dance and enjoy themselves and not do the most, right? Am I right or am I right?
You're right.
What is the most? Okay. What is the most you're talking about?
Anna, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
You know what you're talking about. We need details because to know we don't understand your vulgarity.
Jesus Christ, answer your question. Keynotes, the background broke out.
So somebody
jump up in a face, all of them something. You know me I talk about them kind of something there.
So one of them strong man there, them can lift up a woman and so on just so it go.
No, that's been the most.
No, that extra.
That's the most. Okay. All right. So this is my thing, right? And if my future wife is out there somewhere listening, watching, right? Carnival is an absolute no. Not you could have fully clothed from now till next year. Absolute no chance. You can't even go at your gate and look on the mama. No. You're not supposed none of that. You're not supposed to have no access to none of you can watch it on your TV, me will give that. Because them see them broadcast it on TV and so. But if me
but ever, they not know.
Oh, they not do it now?
They not do it now?
Not again. No.
Oh, you gone too bad, you know.
Gone too far. All
right.
Thing is a better programming than Carnival right now.
And you know it was very tame. people just pretty much came out to just it, honestly,
Yeah, it's just that the songs are
and
in
drink
now.
rum
Yeah. It's
and
not
sit down
short
under them
anymore.
cabanas and eat food.
Wait, no,
You
you're
know,
not.
you know what I not understand?
Yeah.
You know what I not
No,
understand?
no, no, no,
See,
no, Anna.
for
It's
a country like Jamaica, we have the most churches per square mile. Where them say is a Christian country.
that's why we said
But
demonic.
then me know carnival used to take place in a time of Lent and people used to half naked, jump up
Yup.
and down and all of them someday.
Because
And
carnival is an
the
uptown
same if we
thing.
try we never seen an event where Black have New Kingston so for dancehall yet. We never see that yet.
Because it normally ends in war.
And
When it's
me
a
know
dancehall
say
concert, would
if
end
it's
in war.
It's an
repeat.
uptown thing, Joe. That's why they
Because
don't
the
make a big deal
dancehall,
about it.
honestly, when I look at it, all these dancehall concerts, some war always have a go on shooting. I've never heard or seen something like that happen at Carnival, you know.
Kems, we can respond to the question. No, other
Sure,
man.
sure. Go ahead, Mr. Socrates.
First of all, I shouldn't be answering this question as a Muslim because clearly carnival has to be a no-no. But I'm just saying, I am recommending to the females who go to carnival, dress skimpily, do the most or the less or whatever they do. You are running the risk of not getting a high value, man. I'm just letting you know. That's it.
No man, they know say
Yes,
Socrates who
It is already
Socrates
very
now
low.
understand enough. And them woman they are walk down church side brother and the good man them
No,
a go down supermarket aisle.
they are walking down the church aisle to marry simps. Remember people who
like
remember
yeah,
man
tell
rich?
enough of them, they are carnival, sweetie. Hush.
Remember men,
True. Same.
remember brother, hold on. Remember men with money are simps as well. High value men are not naturally men who are the wealthiest, but they are men who are
No.
standard and are on a mission that is not going to be compromised by anybody at all. So you have to understand, if a woman want a manly man who is on his purpose, on a mission, is able to provide, protect, and produce for them, that is a high value man.
That's a
Many of them man,
that's a
many of
tradition.
them man, like the Michael Amars people, them who are them run carnival, them just rich, brother. Them
That's
born
a
rich, but the whole of them are simp. So them would them will see a woman naked and them like that woman there, and that is it. Them a live a simple life, brother. Them
that's a
life don't mean nothing. Them
Most of
won't
them are
go
married, so what
born
are you
come see money.
saying?
Eh?
Most of them are married and their wives are
But
right
that's
there
the
with them.
point
So what
I'm
you
saying.
saying?
They are not high value men. They are just rich men.
Socrates,
That's
I
what I'm
think you
saying
should
now.
stop
I don't
using the
believe
term
that. I'm
high value
sorry.
man because the man who coined the term high value man said that wealth has to be that is the first part. It has
No,
to be
no,
a part of
no,
it.
no,
So you're
no, no,
using this man's term
no, 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 no.
incorrectly. I
Who's
think
who's
what
the
you want to say is a traditional man. Now, traditional men they believe in, of course, being conservative, right? You know, all for your man and no one else, etc., etc. The term high value man was coined by Kevin Samuel. That's his term. He coined the term and he gave his definition for that term. The man has to be wealthy for a
no, my
number of
sister?
years.
No, no. I
That is
listen.
what he's.
Please,
I'm
please,
telling
I'm
you.
begging you. I'm just telling you to stop. Don't misinform people who are
You
watching
know
this.
what? Let me. I'm
Let
going to
me
bring the
explain
video.
to you one more time
The
what a
next
high value man
podcast,
is.
I am going to bring the video with his exact words, what a high value man is, and his definition of what a high value man is. This man coined his own term, and you're telling him that is not a high value
Oh,
man.
oh, so can there be? So my question is,
Kems,
can there be multiple definitions of high value man?
No, I'm
Kems,
saying
Kems.
the man coined this term, right? This man made this term to give his
Look at
his
this definition and tell me where you see money in that.
right. No, but
Don't
this
just tell me. You just said a high value
this
man have to be
man,
rich.
no,
Show me in that where you see being rich.
who coined the term? If it wasn't for this man, this term would not be using loosely around the internet.
Well,
So you
well,
are sharing a
well,
screen.
well,
You are
well,
sharing something
I
The
here.
word
did not
means
share it.
right
I
there
did not
would
share
suggest
it.
Oh,
money
somebody is
though.
I did
sharing
not
it.
share it. Right,
I
right. I
want you
did
to
not
look
share
at
it.
the. I want you to look at the
Anna,
spirit of a high value man. Look at it.
Anna,
He
I
wait
have
no, he is
influence
wait
and
no,
means
he
and I
is
don't
a
have money.
man. Well, so what does man of means mean? What
I
means
have
do you have if
influence
you
and
don't have
means.
assets?
I have influence and means and I don't have the money.
No, there you have influence but no money.
I have
Means.
influence and means, and I don't
No,
have the
you
money.
don't have any
You know
means.
what
If you
means
had
mean,
When
right?
means, you
someone
would have
what
money.
someone have
Not
means mean.
necessary, not in every
What it
case.
mean? Oh
You
my
just not
goodness.
have no
I
money
have the
right
means
now.
to. I have
You
the
might
means
have
to.
influence, you just not have no
I
money.
have the
So look what you
means
have to make.
to talk to certain people and to get things done, but I don't have the money to do it.
No, no.
You see, you don't understand
You
in the
just
word
broke. You
means.
just
You
broke.
Means
just look at means as money.
But
Means
that
is
is
not
what
money
means
alone, my
is.
dear.
That is what means is.
Means is not money alone, my
Influence,
dear.
no.
Means
Influence,
Devon,
no. Is
means
representing
Hey,
a
also
person
hold
to
can
on.
do
mean
things
can
for
you put the
you.
definition
Hey,
of
hold
means
on.
means,
also
please?
can mean being resourceful.
Hold on,
It
Ryan,
Can
don't
you
necessarily
boss.
mean you have resource.
Hold on, Ryan and Anna.
Influence would do
We
that.
can't all talk one time. We're not gonna
Levon,
hear
can you put
nothing.
the definition of means, please?
Games just say, oh, easy. Me not have to say nothing more. Just a screen, just share.
No, let's put the
Yo,
definition
it's
of
all life
means,
go do.
please.
All right.
Let's put
Means
the
mean you
definition
can
of
have
means.
you're resourceful, but you don't necessarily have the resource.
No.
All right. Hey,
Means. Let me tell you. Oh, it says means money, financial resources, wealth, resources, capability. Everything with similar words. Wealth, riches, affluence, capital, deep
All
pockets.
right, wooden spoon. Come in and know why you did a
You see
fuck for that definition
capability there,
again.
right? You saw capability, right?
Similar words, wealth,
You
riches,
saw
affluence,
capability, or
money.
did you?
Influence
Capability.
would
You
fall
cannot.
under that
What are you
category,
capable of
Ryan.
doing if you do
Hey,
not have the
I
wealth
just
or
said
the
it.
finance?
I literally just said it.
So that
I
means
literally
everybody has
just said it.
means. So
I
everyone
said
has means.
resourceful.
So everyone is resourceful. Everyone has
okay,
means.
so here it is. Here it is. Here
It
it
would
is.
fall under influence. That's why the people them say
Financial
means and
resources,
influence.
income.
He came from a family of very modest means.
What is that at the top?
what are
And
the top
That
first
that
one?
has that is completely different now. This is a
Oh,
method.
really? No.
A method or a system, right? By which result is achieved. A method. We're not talking about that. A man of means is not described as a man of a system or a method. It's not like that.
My
When
sister, you are not
when
making
we're
sense.
talking,
But then
of
you're a
course
woman.
I
I
am.
don't expect it to make
No, of course
sense.
I
no,
am
no, no,
making
no,
sense.
no,
I
no, no,
am
no.
making sense.
You can't say that, Socrates,
No,
because
I
she's
am
Here's
making
the
making
reason
sense.
why I said
I
that.
am
I
making
said that
sense.
because the sister is
I
here
am not
moving from pillar
assessment.
to post.
No, I'm
First, I
not.
said to her that a
No, I'm
high
not.
value man is not a man who is naturally rich. All of these things that they are showing on the screen is what a high value man represents. First of all, a high value man, my brother and sisters, is on his own mission. It means that in his mission for what he wants to achieve in life, he cannot be distracted by no woman, nobody, no nothing. He has a system that he's using to create that space where he's going to the place where he wants to get to, and he's going to
hold on there.
achieve his
Hold
goal
on.
regardless of whomever is trying
Hold
to
on the
step in the way.
Socrates. Hold on the Socrates. You may talk there.
Yeah.
So we can't use the terminologies like say or the sisters say. No make no
Kevin
sense.
Samuels, there
You
we
know,
go.
we can't say them things. Zane, we have to, even though we are opinionated, we still have to respect each other's opinion about what we are saying.
My apologies if I
No,
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 moved.
no. You're good, man. But just
I
I say.
know he's okay. He's okay. Honestly, he's
Just I
okay.
say. Like
We get the way to
just for the
we get
audience.
forward.
She
He's
not gonna take
okay.
it personal, but just for the audience out there, no want it seem like say we are bullied on wooden spoon, and so she can take it, but we just don't want it to come afterward. Zane, finish up your talk, Socrates.
Right. So when a high value man, first of all, has to have a mission that is completing, whatever that mission is. And most likely, his mission is to be independent financially as well, but independent of people. He has to be a person with a circle of influence. So when people sees him and deals with him, they believe that they are in the presence of somebody with great value. Value is not only determined by money. It is determined by probably
Thank
the
you.
connections you have. It is what you can inspire people. When people
There you
come
go.
to you are able to direct them into a place that will make them better. So
Repeat that
this is
again.
what women crave, the leadership, because that's what creates leadership now. Where them say, if you ask a woman, do you want a man who is taller than you? 95% will say yes. Do you want a man who earns more than you? 90% of them will say yes. Do you want a man who is stronger than you? 100% of them will say yes, because it comes down to the three P's. A man have to provide, protect, and produce. So that is what a high value man is. So Kevin Samuels himself, if you check his net worth, he has no net worth compared to certain man.
He never
But
said he was high
he,
value. He said he was a Henry.
no man, him can't say that. But remember, say when you as the woman look at him and listen to him talk, you have to depict that this is a high value man. This is the definition of a high value man.
He
How him
always
deal
said
with
he was
himself.
working
Him
towards being
dress
a high
well,
value
him
man.
speak well, him put people in a them place, him deal with things in a the way how a man supposed to deal with things. So that is what a high value man really is.
And he said he always aspires to be a high value man. He's not quite there as yet, but by the end of him teaching everyone, he should become a high value man.
Let me
He
ask you
always said
something.
that Henry.
Let me ask you
Would
something.
have. He's there.
If you aspire, Witherspoon, if you aspire to be the best bilingual teacher in the world, how do you know you are the best?
Reviews.
People have to tell you. And me, I tell you, say Kevin Samuel is a high value man. Him not have to tell me. Me, I tell him. Say him is a high value man. So at the point that you make to
So,
you.
so by that, being recognized by other men as high value man, he did say that as
Other
well.
people, all the woman them too.
Right, other people, right? Man people. That's what I mean. But for you to, because I remember at one point you told Kemar that he wasn't high value, right? Because he allowed certain stuff and etc. etc. But a lot of other people look at him and say he is high value. He's successful in what he's doing. He's focused. I mean, he doesn't mind sharing his wealth with his woman or etc. So they would consider him as high value. More people would consider him as high value as not rather than not being high value. A lot of these men like
And where's that data? Where's that data that you are presenting right now?
I mean,
I
where's
was
your
asking.
data? Who would consider you high value?
Well, listen, I don't want people to consider me high value. I already know that I am a man who is on a mission and a purpose. I am right where I need to be in the journey. Nothing can distract me. I know what I'm about, and I'm going to continue to do that. If somebody finds that, this man is on a mission and I like how I'm doing things and they are impressed with that, then they can consider me as that. But if they don't want to, that's not on me. I know that I'm not going to stand for certain things. I know the type of woman I want. I know the mission that I'm on, and I'm going to complete it. That's it.
All right. So check me out. We reached the 2 hour mark. I wish I could have stayed with you guys, but I have some serious homework for you.
I got a carnival.
I have some serious homework for you do.
You ever repeat it, right? And more homework.
And some serious talk on the phone for you do. I'm sure I'm going to have some explanation to give tonight. But gentlemen and wonderful ladies, Anna,
these ladies are so nice.
Anna, thank you for coming through. I know you're tired. I know you
Anna
probably enjoy yourself. Anna can't upset. Anna probably freeze up, That's why
Carnival pass our gate, man.
No, man, she freeze up, man. Wooden Spoon, definitely. Thank you for being here.
No problem.
The beautiful wooden spoon.
Yes,
Ryan, obviously.
definitely.
Thank you as Gio. Thank you as usual. The great Socrates. You're welcome. You're welcome to this show anytime.
Kems,
Yo.
Kems, I hope you don't take when Socrates tell you I'm going to behave like Mussolini,
I lose him good man, not true, Gio.
Yeah, because Mussolini, see Hitler and where the next man name from Russia? Stalin. I do something gonna say the man they can do that, man. Moose can go do it too. Man, go down to Ethiopia and fail. Nobody be that Kim. Don't be that guy.
I won't, and obviously the guy behind the scenes will make all of this possible.
Yes.
Big up yourself, of course.
Bless
and
him,
we will be back probably next week, probably the week after. The week after, I like my mother's birthday, so I'm not really sure if I'm gonna there. So, but we have to see how it go. But
go Lakers! Lake show one down.
All right, gentlemen, ladies, have a great night. Okay.
Anna, all right, bye.
Anna, welcome back. See you next week.